everyone. How's everyone doing? Today I want to take a few minutes to talk about strong women, the challenges they face, the perceptions about them, and I want to outline some strategies that strong women can adopt to counteract, these challenges and to keep moving in their careers despite all the odds, that the society puts in front of them and the odds against them to succeed in their careers and in their lives. So let's first talk about the perceptions. So, I've often seen even in my career so far, I've been called bossy. I've been called dominating. I've been called aggressive. And I've seen other women being characterized like that just because they are good at their work, just because they are being able to deliver what they're supposed to deliver, and then rather than getting rewarded, they get characterized by these terms such as bossy, aggressive, dominating. Sometimes in the meetings, when you are trying to get things done, when you're trying to make things happen, you're sometimes, you call these terms. Hey, be sweet, be nice, be gentle, you know be like a woman. These all these things, they happen, and they're very hurtful. They make you question sometimes your own identity. They make you question whether you are doing the right thing, whether you are behaving appropriately. So all of these things happen. Then another thing that happens is sometimes, the clothes you wear, you have to be. I've seen like women professionals telling me that that they have to be really mindful of what they are wearing. They're not showing their cleavage, or they're not showing their leg. So all of these things, it is already challenging to be just a handful, to be one of the handful women, at your workplace, especially if you are in sciences or technology or engineering or math, which is called STEM, because there are not many of us there anyway. And then there are not many of us in the leadership roles. And when we are trying to change things, we are trying to make things happen, and then all of these things, you know, we get called by all of these things, that's not helpful either. So, what can we do? What can we do to address these things? Sometimes we feel that it's on us, to address these things. And at least, if we can do something to change things, or we can do something to correct it. So in order to correct it, sometimes, what I do, and I'll share it with you, and you can try this. So there have been times when I was so uncomfortable, in a meeting, whether it was while I was working on a project. And one of my colleagues, one time, I was trying to get a presentation up on the projector, because the presentation was gonna start in next 10 minutes. And I said, I asked my male colleague, where is the presentation? Because I was like freaking out. And then he's like, oh my God, you're so bossy. I'm just gonna be waiting to see who you end up with. And I was like, what? I said, what did you say? What did you just say? And then he stopped, in his tracks. My confronting him actually stopped him, from saying anything further to me. And then I guess like he thought about it for a minute, and then he apologized to me. He said, I'm sorry. So this is one of the things that you can do, is to confront people when they say something like this to you. And another thing that you can do is to just, when something like this happens, or somebody calls you like something that you don't want to, you don't feel comfortable with. So if you cannot address it in that moment, then don't let it go, because this is what we women do. We kind of let it slide, because it is so uncomfortable to us. sometimes to even talk about it. So my advice is that if you cannot confront the person who has said this thing to you in that very minute, like, just ask them, to ask them to meet, or if you spot them some other time, grab them, and grab their attention and just say, hey, I just wanted to talk to you for a minute. You remember that day when we were in the meeting, you said this thing to me? I mean, that did not make me feel comfortable. I would appreciate if you don't say these things to me in the future. This is not how you should address women. So again, it's like a teachable moment which you can, actually teach people, because sometimes people have so many biases, that they don't even realize what they're doing, which is not right. And so yeah, I mean, if you can teach somebody about, the biases they have, and you can make this right for you in some way, whether it's confrontation, whether it's like asking them, whether it's like following up with them on what they said to you, that will be good. That is one way. Second thing is to just be confident in who you are, because what happens is when we get called these kind of, like terms, like when we are called bossy, when we are called aggressive, we sometimes question ourselves. We are like, oh shit, this just is it something that we are doing wrong? Is this something that I am doing wrong? Is this something that do I need to tone down a little bit? So all these doubts, they come back, they come to you, and that's not good either. I think we should not doubt ourselves. When we know we are not in the wrong, when we know that, we are not being treated properly, we should not doubt ourselves. That is my message to everyone. It's hard sometimes, we do question ourselves, but please, if you know that somebody did something wrong to you, or somebody said something inappropriate to you, please do not doubt yourself. Second thing I would like to, actually third thing that I would like to touch base upon is how sometimes, people feel insecure around strong women, because strong women, they have game changing ideas. They want to change the world. They are the innovators. And people feel insecure, when you are trying to push for organizational change, when you don't toe the line, because insecure people, they like you, they like people who toe the line. And women especially, who are movers and shakers, they don't want to toe the line. They're not going to bend backwards to please somebody. They are just going to get the job done, right? They're going to take their team with them and get the job done. But then there are some people in the team, or even like sometimes your managers or your bosses, who are just insecure people, and or they get threatened by you because you have such amazing ideas. They are threatened by your energy, they are threatened by your enthusiasm. So that becomes a problem, because when you're working in an organization and you are surrounded by people like these, then it kind of becomes your problem, because either you have two options. Either you quit that working environment, or if you cannot quit that working environment for some reason, if you have to stick around, for some time, then you have to find a way to at least make this better for you. And there are some strategies that I would suggest, and I suggest these strategies to other professionals as well, women professionals especially, and to my young mentees, my students, is that when you're surrounded with these kind of people, then there are few things. First of all, again, trust your gut. Never doubt your gut. Trust your instincts. If you feel that somebody is not doing the right thing, or somebody is trying to sabotage you, ask them for a meeting. That's the first thing. Don't write lengthy emails because emails don't help. So ask them for a meeting, ask them, hey, email them, can we talk, face to face, and get like 15 to 30 minutes with them. And then outline when you meet with them, try to make them feel less insecure. One way is to clearly defining the boundaries. um, that this is what I plan to do, and I'm not gonna step on your toes if that's what you are afraid of. Try to address their concerns. If and once you do that, if and once you do that, have a written then follow up with them over the email. They say, hey, we talked about this. This is what we discussed in the meeting. So have a written trail. And if despite doing that, if things still don't, they're not improving, then definitely there are other channels. If you're feeling that you are not being treated well, definitely seek legal counsel. There are resources in every organization where you can go to your HR, address your concerns with the HR. And the other thing is, have a strong network. Like, when you feel that something is not right, you can always go to the people who you have made connections with, and that is very important. Like, having a network of people, network of your allies, is very important. If you don't have that, then it's a loss for you. So I would suggest, do invest some time in building your own network. It is very, very important to have your own network. And then have mentors, who you can rely on to. Because these are your mentors. They are people who have more experience than you sometimes, in certain situations. And, when you go to your mentor and you tell them that, you discuss with them that this is what I'm going through, there is a high chance that they went through a similar situation. And then there's a high chance that they did something that, in retrospect, they could have done better. So you learn from their mistakes as well. You have an opportunity to learn from their mistakes. So definitely have mentors. And again, the last thing I want to say is, believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing, that works for you, that is gonna work for you. Believe in yourself, believe in your instincts. When somebody does something wrong to you, try to address it. Try to address it then and there. If you're not able to address it then and there, please, I would encourage you to follow up. Because don't let things slide. Because when you start letting things slide, then the pattern continues. Some people are not, they need to be shaken up a little bit. They need to be told that this is what you did to me was not right. And if it crosses boundaries, please seek legal counsel. Seek help from your HR, whoever the ombuds person is in your unit, or whatever legal channels you have, whatever reporting channels you have. Please, seek help and have a network, have mentors. And again, just be proud of who you are. That's definitely something that I would like to re-emphasize over and over and over. That believe in yourself, be proud of who you are. That's all I want to say today. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please let me know, give me feedback, press the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel, because I'll be sharing these tips more and more now, since I've gotten into making YouTube videos. You can also follow me on my Facebook page. It's called The Inner Voice. The link is in the description of the video below. And you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Snapchat. So I'll see you all next time. Okay, take care. And again, just be proud of who you are. okay? Believe in yourself. Bye.